An all-new Model Y refresh is coming soon, but you may not want to wait around for what may or may not be coming, but instead take advantage of one of Tesla's best deals, lowest prices ever, and that's actually this, the 2024 Model X. Of course, recent price cuts have made the Model Y much more affordable, but have also dropped the Model X long range to its lowest price ever. So if you're looking at an all-new Tesla, let me break down the top 5 things you need to know about Model Y and Model X, and why right now might actually be the best time ever to buy a Model X. And also a huge thanks to Masterworks for sponsoring this video. Okay, so Tesla's pricing strategy is a bit chaotic right now, so things are obviously known to change, but as of filming, Model Y and Model X both recently got some pretty big discounts and price drops, and the Model X is actually right now more appealing than it's ever been before. Especially as the Model Y's design is getting a bit long in the tooth, so to speak, and it's sort of outshined by the newer, flashier Model 3, the Model X is actually a pretty good alternative as it has a lot of the creature comforts you'd want in an upgraded 2024 vehicle, while also being, I mean, let's face it, there's a price difference there, but it's not as nearly as bad as it used to be. But with that said, the big question that most people have these days is, what do you actually get for that extra money if you go from Model Y to Model X? And is the Model X actually worth it? Well, as someone who has owned both these vehicles and currently drives a Model X and drove a Model Y for tens of thousands of miles, let me tell you from an owner's perspective why I think in most cases it's probably worth it. So right now, as of filming, long-range Model X is a hair under $78,000, and because it's under the $80,000 MSRP price limit, it actually fully qualifies for the $7,500 federal tax credit that you can take essentially as a point-of-sale discount, basically giving you an instant discount off the price of the Model X and bringing it down to around that $70,000 price. Not an insignificant amount of money to be discounted, and also not an insignificant amount of money for a car. $70,000 is still a lot, but again, factoring all that in, Model X has never been this cheap before. Now, Tesla's website by default is going to do this dumb thing where they show estimated gas savings. So you're going to have to sort of take that out of the calculations or calculate your own gas savings for yourself because, of course, that's going to wildly vary by person to person. So let's just say for this example, you're looking at about $70,000 for the base Model X long range before you change anything, seat options, color, stuff like that. While the Model Y, let's just face it, it's still going to be significantly cheaper, just so you know here, coming in, $25-ish thousand less in some cases, depending on the model. So there is still a pretty big price gap there to consider. So let's say you decide to go Model X and spend that extra money. Let me tell you what you get and whether or not it's worth it. But first, a little bit of a word of warning here. If you take this strategy and you go with Model X, you've got to be very careful of the options you choose, because if you go over the $80,000 limit, the vehicle is no longer going to qualify for that pretty chunky federal tax credit. So you got to be careful as you do your configuration. So if I'm looking at the configurator here, I could do any color option but ultra red because that's going to push it over the limit. Upgrading wheels is not going to be a possibility here because it's just too expensive. And while you can go with the white interior or the cream colored interior, and you can go with the yoke, you've just got to be careful of what combination of color on the exterior and interior and yoke you do. Before, you couldn't change anything. Now you can make some changes given the new price discounts. But just keep in mind that $80,000 is a hard stop there. If the price is over, you're not going to be able to take advantage of that federal tax credit. So no wheel upgrades and also no seat upgrades as well. You basically are locked to the 5-seat configuration. Those 6 or 7-seat configurations do exist for Model X. They're going to just put you past that MSRP cap. Okay, so Model Y, Model X, they're both sort of the bigger Teslas in the lineup. They're made for hauling pets and people and stuff. But what are the big differences that you actually need to know? Let me go out to my Model X and give you a couple of quick thoughts. So probably the biggest and most interesting part of the Model X, the biggest feature, are the doors. You've got the Falcon Wing doors in the back, the ones that go up like this, and then also powered automatic doors for the other parts of the car. Let me show you how those work and if they're worth the extra premium price, because I feel like with the price gap between Model Y and Model X, a lot of that Tesla's hoping is going to be made up for in your mind with the special doors on this car. And I think if we sort of zoom out for a moment, we can all agree that we want to make a smart purchase because this year, let's just face it, keeps punching us right in our wallets. Prices keep soaring for everything besides Teslas, surprisingly. And now most Americans think they need to save $1.4 million for retirement. $1.4 million! That number is up over 50% from just 4 years ago. It means our money is going to have to work overtime, right? Luckily, by using the QR code on screen right now, you can join hundreds of my subscribers investing in an asset that's been shown to improve portfolio performance 98% of the time with just a 5% allocation. I'm talking, of course, about investing with Masterworks, the art investing platform that sold over $54 million worth of art. Now, these investors didn't need to know about the art market or the ins and outs of fine art. In fact, over 900,000 members have signed on so far, and I've seen shares for some artworks in minutes. There's usually a wait list to join, but luckily, you guys watching this video, my subscribers are able to sort of skip that wait list and be invited to access the platform instantly right now just by scanning the QR code on screen, or QR code is somewhere on here, or by going to the link down below, which is masterworks.art/Rosenfeld. Of course, as with any investment, past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. Important regulation, a disclosure at masterworks.com/CD. But again, learn more, check out Masterworks for yourself today and get started by scanning the QR code on screen or go to masterworks.art/Rosenfeld. Besides the front trunk here, every other door on the Model X is powered, which is something you won't find in any other Tesla. What that means is that you can open and close any of the doors and the back power liftgate there via the Tesla mobile app or even on the screen inside of the car. So what that looks like is if I come up to the vehicle and I press in on the handle like that, the door is going to pop open for me. And then once I jump inside, and I put my foot on the brake, Model X hallmark feature is that the door will close for me, which is honestly really nice and is cooler than you may think. I also have control over all the doors on the screen here as well, so I can open the driver's side door, the passenger door, and also both Falcon Wing doors in the back, and of course, the front and trunk as well. Trunk, obviously, I can open and close, it's fully powered. Front, though, big missing feature here is that it's obviously still manual to close. It'll open for you, pop open, but if you want to close it, you've got to do that manually. Now, obviously, you might have noticed a weird problem with the door, and that is that it actually doesn't open all the way. That's because Tesla removed the ultrasonic sensors from the front doors here, so the car doesn't know how much space it has when it opens up. So to be safe, it's just going to pop up a very small amount. One of the big benefits of older Model X's is that they have those sensors, so the doors will open all the way, and it'll sort of know the appropriate distance. Having it pop open like this is better than nothing, but it's kind of useless. Then you have to sort of fight the motor to get it open the rest of the way. Then obviously it'll close for you inside, but I will tell you it is a really annoying feature of these new Model X's. It's the same here for the passenger side as well. Again, it's nice to have the power door functionality, but the fact that it only opens this much kind of defeats the purpose of having that extra functionality. So this is something that Tesla could fix with software and with a update to the vision system on the car, but it is really annoying to fight that motor to open and close it, and would be really nice if they actually opened all the way. But unlike the front doors, the Falcon Wing doors still do retain their ultrasonic sensors, which is good because the way the doors open, they need to be basically precise around their surroundings to make sure they don't actually hit anything. So the way they open is like this, and again, with those sensors on there, it's able to sort of know how high and how wide it can open, but that's about the widest position that you'll get. That's the full length and width of the Falcon Wing door, which opens like this, and that's sort of one of the hallmark features, if not the hallmark feature of Model X, is that you've got a door that doesn't open regularly or 90 degrees, but all the way open like that, so you can easily get in and out, and probably more popularly here, get small children in and out of car seats. Especially with a car seat here, it is really, really helpful. I think that if you're looking for a family hauler, a way to get people in and out of your car in a easy way, this is really nice. I do want to point out that this is a 6-seat configuration, which you won't be going with again. You're only going to have the 5-seat configuration if you're looking for the one that qualifies for the tax credit. So ignore the captain's chairs here. But again, you're still going to have the bench. You're going to have plenty of space in the back, and then just an easy way to get people in and out. And if you're curious, for those who do go with a 6-seat configuration, these captain's chairs are motorized. So if I press this, if you're curious, that's going to move over there, and then I could put those seats up in the back and more easily get back there. Don't have to worry about that if you're going with the 5-seat, which has its own pros and cons, but for those curious, that's how that works there. But yeah, really easy just to jump right in and then close the door just like this. If I could hit the right button. There we go. Model Y cannot do that. Another big benefit of Model X over Model Y is that you're getting more space with this vehicle in almost all areas. So just to show you a little example here, here's the frunk. It's a noticeably larger frunk than you're going to get on Model Y. It's deep, plenty of room here for grocery bags, backpacks, stuff like that. That is super nice. Like I showed you just a moment ago, you've got the Falcon Wing door here for those curious. Apologies, the inside of my car is a bit of a mess, but this is what it's like to live with in here. I've got some baby toys and stuff, plenty of room here in the back. And again, with that, the Falcon Wing doors, plenty of headroom there as well, which is nice. And then going around to the trunk and sub-trunk, that's going to look like this. So I've got the seats back here, but this is going to be your typical cargo area. You've got plenty of space back here. You've got sort of a little groove there to put things in. You've got a little net right here to put other loose items in here. And then, like I said, I'm just sort of living with junk in the trunk, so apologies for that. But just to show you, you've also got a nice deep, if I can show you here, sub-trunk down here as well. It's actually going to have my address on there, so I'm going to cover that anyways. So big sub-trunk down there, fix that in a second. But yeah, sub-trunk, trunk, and you've got a lot of space here inside of Model X. Also do want to show off some of the more premium features you get on the interior here as well. In addition to the extra space, which you do have, you've got your wireless charger here. You've got some storage here. This does come out for additional storage. This will actually go back like that to give you even more storage down there. You've got an armrest here that, again, I've also got a piece here that comes out for additional storage. So lots of storage here in the front of the car as well. If you go with plaid, you're getting carbon fiber. With the long range, you will be getting wood, though it is a nice wood finish here. And this is sort of a new center console design from Tesla. Sort of similar to what they've got on the new Model 3, but this one's just a little bit more premium here. That opens halfway, then opens all the way. And then you've sort of got your other sort of Model X elevated experience here. So you've got a larger display. I believe this is a 17-inch display here. So it's 2 inches bigger than what you get in Model Y. And then also you've got a secondary display here, which shows you your speedometer. It shows you navigation info and stuff like that, your range, your time, weather. So that way you've got more of this screen to work with. So you could have larger media windows here. You can have larger settings windows here. You've just got a much bigger screen to work with here on Model X. And also one of the nice things is, again, it's little things here with Model X that you're paying for, a little bit of creature comforts here with the ability to tilt the display. So the display can tilt towards the passenger, can go in the center here, or tilt towards you. It seems like a dumb feature, but every time I show this off, I do have to say it is kind of nice to have that ability to have it turn and face you as you drive. Little thing there, but it is way easier to touch the screen that way, and having that display there is nice as well. Obviously, you've got your choice of steering wheel or yoke. You can actually get the yoke and still qualify for the federal tax credit. I know the yoke is sort of up for debate whether or not people like it or not. I'm a fan of the yoke. I like it, and it doesn't obstruct the screen here, which I like, but that's going to be something you only get on Model X. And S too, but X for these for this video's purpose. I also should mention that range between Model Y and Model X are going to be sort of similar. You're getting about 25 miles of more range on the X if you're looking at that with the stock wheels. But the X, I should just say, beyond just range, is going to give you a way more significant and comfortable ride. Again, the vehicle is larger, which has its pros and cons, but because of that, it's a little bit more comfortable. It's got that active air suspension as well, so that's going to help the ride be significantly smoother. I feel like the cabin noise is better because of the improved glass, and just in in general, it's going to give you more of a comfortable ride. So that's something to sort of think about. Also, you've got the sort of more spacious feeling interior because of that big helicopter-like windshield that makes it feel much larger inside. So I think that if you're looking to maximize range, and especially comfort, if you're looking for a road trip car, if you are someone looking for a family hauler who wants to go with the electric route and you want something comfortable, Model X, I feel like, is the perfect family hauler and a really good road trip car because you're getting all that comfort, all that space, and also a pretty good amount of range as well. Performance is obviously something we can discuss as well. The Model X Plaid obviously does exist. It's a great car. Maybe I'm a little biased, but it does add $15,000 on the price, so that's sort of going to be a little bit of a different sort of situation there to consider. Last I saw here, it looks like Model X long range is still plenty fast, 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds, which is still technically slower than a Model Y Performance, but you are getting way more range than a Model Y Performance. You're getting all the creature comforts, a more comfortable ride, and still a plenty fast vehicle. The Model X also does have some creature comforts that you're only going to find in the higher end Teslas. For example, there's a better sound system in the Model X. Model X also has ventilated seats, which do exist in other Teslas, but not going to be on the Model Y as of right now. And also, if you didn't know, Model X comes equipped standard with Tesla's HomeLink kit. This is basically a garage door gate opening system that's hardwired into the car that doesn't work like MyQ that relies on internet, but this is like an actual like receiver and transmitter, or however that system works, that actually is going to work with garage doors. So if you're looking for like the actual garage door system that really nicely integrates with the car and you don't want to do the subscription route, HomeLink does exist. It's an add-on for Model 3 and Model Y, but actually standard with Model X. And I should mention a couple of final things before we wrap things up. Two big things to consider. One is that a Model X and Model S refresh are on the horizon, but the dates keep changing, so I have no idea when these are coming, so it's hard for me to recommend if you should wait or whatever the case may be. Basically, what we're hearing right now is that if you're looking at the RGB ambient lighting and you're very envious of that, or you also want a front bumper camera, those should be coming in a Model X refresh at some point in 2024. We just don't know when. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the Model Y is going to be getting a significant refresh as well. It's going to be getting RGB ambient lighting, ventilated seats. It's going to be getting improved suspension. It's going to be getting better glass acoustics for a quieter cabin, the new design, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, Model Y and Model X, though they will be more similar than ever before, are still going to be very different vehicles. You have Model X, which is just a bigger vehicle. It's got those extra creature comforts. It's just a much more comfortable ride. It's obviously going to be more expensive as well. But I do think that if you value more space, a more comfortable ride, the extra technology and extra features, I think for a lot of people, the Model X will be worth it. That's sort of my final thought here. I think that the Model Y and Model X are both amazing cars. Both have great range, great speed, performance, all that stuff. But the Model X just gives you a bit of an elevated experience. You're getting the extra luxurious features. You're getting a more comfortable ride. You're getting the versatility of the Falcon Wing doors and all that stuff. And I think that if you spend a lot of time in the car, or you want a really easy way to get people in and out of your car, you value storage space, flexibility, and just a good family hauler, and you want a bit more of a premium experience, and the Model X is definitely something to consider. And like I mentioned, right now, given the tax credits and the discounts and incentives, the Model X long range has never been more appealing. And if you've been sort of thinking about it, right now might just be the best time to buy. Not saying the Model Y is bad by any means, not saying that you could save that money and go Model Y and not be happy. But if you're looking to go Model X, as someone who has owned both vehicles, they're both amazing, but I do appreciate some of the creature comforts of the Model X a bit more, and I really do love the car, and I think you guys will love it as well. So, obviously, I want to know your thoughts down below. If you've got a Model Y, tell me what you like, dislike. Model X, same thing. You like it or dislike it? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing, and just all you do on the channel. I appreciate you guys. As always, thank you so much. Please leave a comment down below if you want to be entered into an Amazon gift card giveaway. As always, I appreciate you all. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you in the next one.